Good morning. Thank you for joining our webinar. My name is Yasmin Hussain and I'm the Marketing Manager at HBT Communications. If you can hear me, please use the emojis to give us a quick thumbs up. Hello, I don't know if you can see the emojis. You should have an option. If you could give me a thumbs up just to let me know you can hear me. Okay. Today we will be joined by Chris Whelan, who's the sales manager at HBT Communications. Chris has worked in IT and telecoms for over 20 years, so brings a wealth of knowledge to the table. We also have Mark from NEC. Mark heads up their UK sales operation and works very closely with us at HBT Communications. Mark has an in-depth experience of all communication solutions. The agenda for today will be an introduction from Chris, and then Mark will give us an overview of Univerge Blue. There is a question and answer option on your screen. Please feel free to ask any questions via that, and we will answer them at the end. The presentation should take no longer than 40 minutes, including the question and answer. Please do use the emojis to tell us how you are feeling throughout the presentation. I'll hand over to Chris now.
Thank you, Yasmin. Good morning, my name is Chris Whelan. Before I hand over to Mark at NEC, I'm just going to talk you through the switch off and what this means to your business. So HBT are the oldest and most experienced privately owned telephony company in the UK. We have over 80 years experience in delivering telephony solutions to the SME, health and education sector. So 83% of organisations are still not aware of when their services will be switched off. BT announced back in 2015 that they'll shut off the ISDN and PSTN services completely in 2025, as neither of these technologies are capable of delivering the volume or quality needed in this increasingly digital world. Many businesses have already made the transition and are benefiting from increased functionality, improved efficiency, and cost savings. Some of you that are using legacy systems such as Avaya, Panasonic, and Samsung are probably aware that they've now withdrew from the market, and obviously this is making it difficult to repair and also sourcing parts and components and handsets for these solutions. The ISDN analog shutdown in Germany sparked panic among firms that did not prepare early enough for the switch off. So a number of German businesses were not aware of the change, how it affected them, and were pretty much in a state of panic as they heavily relied on both ISDN and analog services to function. This drove business owners to make quick decisions about something which could have long-term costly impact on the sustainability. Germany were one of the first countries to switch off the traditional analog and ISDN trunk lines. The advice we're giving to UK businesses is to act now to avoid any issues ahead of the switch off in 2025. So we're already seeing delays in people moving across to VoIP. There are risks of disruptions for businesses due to lack of BT engineers within the UK to accommodate the increase in demand. The price risk, because demand will drive up prices, and obviously what downtime or delay this could cost to your business. Today we're going to talk about NEC's Univerge Blue solution, which is a cloud-based platform. It's packed full of features that improve your communications for both your staff and your customers. So I'm going to hand you over to Mark at NEC, who will give you an overview of what this solution can do. And as Yasmin said earlier, we've got some Q&As at the end of this. Over to you, Mark.
Well, good morning, everybody, and on behalf of NEC and HBT, thank you for taking the time out to be with us this morning. I do hope over the course of the next 20-25 minutes to give you a bit of an insight into what NEC has to offer as regards to your telephone communications needs. And hopefully by the end of it, you'll have an understanding what opportunity and what are your options going forward. So before we actually get into the nitty-gritty of the product, I think it's very important to understand who NEC are and where we've come from. NEC has over 120 years of pedigree within the industry. So you could say that we've been here from the offset, being very much market leaders. However, over the last 8 years, we've actually hit the dizzy heights of being number one in the SMB on a worldwide basis. Now, Chris has already alluded to several major brands withdrawing from the market, such as Samsung, Panasonic, and Toshiba over recent years. And I think it's all pretty clear that those are three major brands that we all recognize. So you may be thinking, what's the reason of being here today? Well, there's two objectives as I understand it. One is to talk about the migration into the new technology after 2020-25 cutoff, and also about if you've got an existing Panasonic or Samsung telephone system. You could be questioning, well, what's NEC's format of going forward? How long are they going to be in the marketplace for? If we've seen Samsung, Panasonic, and Toshiba withdrawing from the market. Well, NEC has no desire to withdraw from the market. We have in the region of about 48 million handsets on people's desks on a global basis. So we are very committed to continuing to supply existing and new customers all sorts of solutions. Now, the desire to go to the cloud is not for everybody for a whole host of reasons. It could be infrastructure, is maybe because you want to sweat your asset a little bit longer. You may be quite happy with having an on-premise telephone system. So NEC is a very much an organization that provides choice, and that is something that I will allude to in the coming slides. So as I've already mentioned, and Chris has mentioned, we're here particularly to talk about Univerge Blue, which is our hosted cloud service. However, we do have some on-premise telephone systems in our portfolio. There's still a massive market out there for them. For various reasons and for all sorts of verticals, whether it be healthcare, education, retail. We are still selling a huge amount of on-premise telephone systems. So we have the SL2100 and the SV9100. So we can deal with 2 or 3 extensions right up to 896. We can give you mobility solutions and everything in between to meet your business objective. As I alluded to earlier, NEC is an organization that actually provides choice. We've just very briefly spoke about the on-premise telephone systems and our commitment to continue to develop those type of applications. And in the next coming slides, we'll be talking about a cloud solution. So where does this hybrid piece really fit in? Well, these 48 million users across the world will not migrate to the cloud at once. However, the workplace has changed so dramatically over the last 2 years. People need to be working in a very nimble state, whether it be in the office one day, at home the next, at suppliers the next day. They need to be contacted and continue their business on a day-to-day basis, no matter where they are. So NEC has provided a hybrid solution. In essence, what that allows us to do is overlay some of the cloud infrastructure, so we're not restricted to be sitting in an office and continue to do our day-to-day job no matter where we are, no matter what time of the day. So we've got this hybrid approach, which we'll talk about in the next slide. So on our existing customer base, customers that have NEC telephone systems, whether that be an SV9100 or an SL2100, in order for them to be a little bit more agile and nimble in their approach to their working or how they want their staff to work, by all means, we can have IP handsets connected to their home office, but maybe they want a little bit more flexibility. They want a soft phone that sits on a laptop. They want an app on their mobile smart device. NEC's Connect Bridge allows us to do this. The customer then has the ability to continue to use the on-premise telephone system, continuing to use his asset, but equally increasing his productivity and his better balance of working from his staff perspective. Univerge Blue Bridge will provide a high quality voice calling. It will give you the ability to have video and web collaboration, team messaging, file sharing, and integration into different CRMs. So it is a real case of whether you work from home or the office or anywhere in between, you can be working as you do right now, probably in the office, whether you're at home, in Costa, or anywhere like that. So moving forward onto the Univerge Blue hosted solution. As the slide sort of demonstrates, there's a crazy and a simple side. HBT, along with many other organizations, have been supplying telephone systems into all sorts of businesses for many, many years. And as the developments in IT and needs of customers have increased, HBT have been introducing meeting environments. Maybe GoToMeeting was probably one of the first. Now, probably Zoom is probably the most popular. They was using Skype, BlueJeans. They were using Dropbox, OneDrive for storage. Now, this is all well and good and it works fine, but managing those applications can be quite time-consuming and quite expensive. What NEC has done with the Univerge Blue is made it a one complete UC platform. So what you're actually seeing on the left-hand side of the screen, we have put under one skin, if you like, that allows you to consume all those type of different technologies in one interface. That makes it easier for the partner, easier for the customer, and allows you to increase and decrease the size of your business accordingly in these difficult times. I'm not going to go through the right-hand side of this slide, the Univerge Blue Engage, because that is a topic in itself. If you are a contact center, and it's not just voice that you want to deal with, you want to deal with SMS messaging. So if you're a doctor's and you want to start sending text messages out to your patients, reminding them you've got an appointment, or a dentist, a car dealership that needs to inform their customers of the latest, greatest deals. If you're a school and you want to send an SMS message out to all the parents about a closing or a holiday or whatever the case may well be, we can achieve that with Univerge Blue Engage. And if you have any of those needs or requirements, then please reach out to the guys at HBT, and they will be able to provide you further information. We're going to be focusing on the left-hand side, the Univerge Blue Connect. So what actually is it? It's a cloud enterprise phone system. So you're allowed to be consumed wherever you are, providing you've got internet access, or 3G, 4G, 5G coming in certain areas. You're allowed to consume any part of the solution itself. It provides web conferencing, so very much similar to what we're actually doing right now, whereby we can present, we can record the presentation, you can ask questions, you can raise hands, and all those type of things. The ability to have a mobile solution is extremely important nowadays, because we seem to have to be more contactable now than ever before. So yes, we can deliver voice calls to a mobile phone. It can be Android, it can be iOS. You can choose whichever you prefer. The application that runs on the mobile device is very much like soft phone, so the user experience is very fluid and very easy to use. Now, if you're working on a mobile and you get a call saying, could you share me a document? Can you email me this PowerPoint presentation? The old way of working would that if you was on your mobile, you'd pull over, get on the internet, open up your emails, and then email that presentation. Univerge Blue has an application called Share that allows us not only to back up our PC and give us the ability to collaborate easy, but we can share documents that we can provide internally to internal people as well as externally. We can jointly work on those applications as well. So if you're using sort of like OneDrive or Google Drive now for your storage, yet again, this is an alternative. They can work hand in hand if you wish, and work very. It makes life a lot easier, believe it or not. I have a very busy desktop with all of my files that I use on a regular occurrence nearly every day. These are backed up to my Univerge Blue Share, and it allows me easy access from my mobile phone to get everything that I need at my fingertips. The ability to use fax is somewhat of a dying breed, but we can actually facilitate that. We can also present presence. What we mean by presence, I can see when my colleagues are on the phone, off the phone, in a do not disturb state, forwarding, and all those type of things. So I have visibility of what my colleagues are actually doing. Since COVID, most people have the ability now to work from home more regularly than most. I've not used a telephone. I've actually used a little speaker and a microphone connected to my laptop and used a soft phone. So a desktop client can be deployed. And as you'll see in the coming slides, it's very easy on the eye. You can see a lot of information and makes my life a lot easier. Not only can you have instant messaging between individuals, you can have team chats. So if you are working on a particular project with a team, you can formulate a team, send messages backward and forward, share documents, and it keeps everything nice and easy and tight within a group. This has sort of overruled the use of those continuous emails that you have to put together when working on projects. In a team chat, it's always there. It's always available to all those people that have been involved in that particular project. Within Univerge Blue Connect, we have an element of contact center. Now, this is just dealing with voice. But if you are a doctor's surgery on the call this morning, I think what's most important, what's a prerequisite nowadays, is the ability to give your clients their position in queue. Yet again, this can be attained by using one of the Univerge Blue licenses, and we can then provide the customers, the patients, their position in queue, and equally the estimated time to answer if you require. So we're able to deal with any sort of voice contact center. As I mentioned before, Univerge Blue Engage is what we would class as an omni-channel contact center. So not only dealing with voice calls, we can deal with SMS, we can deal with social media integration. If somebody's on your website and they want to engage with an individual, we can do all that. That's a topic in itself and something that I'm sure the guys at HBT and even myself will be delighted to talk to you about in more detail. Moving on into the depths of the Univerge Blue, it comes in three apartments, if you like. So we have the Connect, which is the cloud phone system. We have this Meet facility, which is very similar to what we're actually in this here this morning. And we also have the ability to have the ability to share documents, have a backup of everything on your PC if you wish. And of course, Engage is our advanced customer contact center. So let's have a look at them in a little bit more depth. So touching on Connect. As you see from the image at the back there, that's what the Univerge Blue Connect sits on. It can work on Windows, it can work on iOS. It can the mobile app can work on Android and iOS. It gives us the ability to see where all my colleagues are, what they're doing, what their state is, whether on a call or off the call, whether in Do Not Disturb. So I have full visibility of what my staff are doing. I can choose to send them an instant message. And in that instant message, I may want to attach a document for them to look at. I can send emojis and thumbs up and smiley faces and all those sort of things that you would expect from a modern platform. The ability to have AI capabilities, which is quite a topical thing at this moment in time. Yes, we can have voicemail. Yes, we can have voicemail to email. But if you wanted that transcription of that voicemail as well, so that's to be texted to you or sent via an SMS, we can do that as well. As I mentioned before, you can have video conferencing capabilities of small to big teams. You can make them public and private project channels. So if you are working on projects, then you can make them discoverable in the search or make them private. We're finding a lot of organizations now are looking to maximize their workflow management by incorporating their customer management platforms, CRMs, whether that be Outlook, Salesforce, or anything like that. We have a variety of different applications available to work within CRMs. Whether you have a specialist CRM, if you're in the medical vertical, or the dentist vertical. We can work with a lot of CRMs. So please, make the guys at HBT aware that you want to maximize the opportunity by working with the CRM and making information very much available on the point of taking the call. It's really easy to use. If you just want a telephone, that's quite okay. If you just want a soft phone, that's not a problem. If you want a soft phone and a mobile app, that's not a problem at all. We have a variety of different licenses to suit all types of work types. As I mentioned, it's really easy to deploy. It requires very little training and has over 100 features and facilities, as you would expect from a leading hosted solution. So we have hunt groups and pickup groups and call barring and all those type of things. So yeah, again, I'm sure the guys at HBT would be delighted to tell you a little bit more about that. The meeting experience is very much, as I mentioned before, similar to what we're actually using now. So it's easy to use. It's one-click meetings. We can change a voice call, incidentally, straight into a video type meeting. If we want that one-to-one type situation, we can share our screens. We can record the session as we're doing this morning. We also have AI incorporated in our meeting application. So if you're doing an online meeting or training, you can actually invite the AI assistant into it and it will transcribe that meeting for you. And it will pick up on keywords and actions. So if I was to say, Chris, let's have a meeting on Tuesday, yet again, that would come out as an action within the transcription from the AI assistant. The ability within the application will give you chat rooms and note sections. So yet again, people could be adding information to the notes as they go through the meeting. And once the meeting is completed, it can be emailed straight to the recipients of the people that have attended the meeting, and so much more. Yet again, a variety of different licenses available depending on how many people that you want within a meeting requirement. Now, Univerge Blue Share, the ability to share documents, as I've mentioned earlier, is something that I really didn't take, if I'm being perfectly honest with you, seriously from the offset. But it became very apparent very quickly that I'm now able to rely on my mobile phone as being my phone of choice, if you like, to conduct my business with. But the ability to have access to those documents within a few clicks. It is that easy. So I can actually see the document. I can send a link to you. I can, whether it be internally or externally, give you edit rights. If Chris had access to a document and he accidentally deleted it, I can roll it back to the previous version. It has all that built in. And yet again, the licenses do include this. Depending on the license, you can have up to 5 gig, 50 gig, up to 200 gig. So yet again, it may be something that you're using now and paying for. It's all included in that one license fee. Go back. Do apologize, heavy on the mouse this morning. So Connect for Teams. Now, obviously due to COVID, a lot of people rushed out to Microsoft and started to maximize what they could do with Microsoft Teams. And they've been very successful in a short period of time with the application. As you'd expect, it is Microsoft after all. And I think it's fair to say there are some Microsoft lovers, evangelists, and some people that just don't like Microsoft. But ultimately, it's there for everybody to use. However, what Microsoft Teams is not, it's not a telephone system. So yes, you can make and receive calls and hold and transfer. But if you want hunt groups, if you want reporting, if you want minutes for dialing out purposes, if you want to have pickup groups, it doesn't do that. Now, what Univerge Blue does, it provides a license called Univerge Blue Connect for Teams. In effect, we are underpinning the Teams application with our own solution. So you, the user, would be using the Teams interface. You'll be continuing to use Teams for your meetings and your instant messaging. You will be using Univerge Blue. You won't see it. It's lying in the background to deal with your hunt groups, your positioning queue, your pickup groups, and all those features and functionality that you may be experiencing if you've used a PBX previously. As you can see on the list there, we do provide minutes with the licenses. So whether it be 3,000 minutes or 5,000 minutes, depending on the licenses, to destinations across the world, it includes mobiles. So you're probably paying for line rental, you're paying for every call. Having the Univerge Blue platform, we are going to bundle in the minutes for you that allow you to call a lot of destinations. Yet again, the team at HBT will inform you of what those destinations are. It includes premium rate and mobile numbers. You get voicemail, you get voice recording, and there's various other options there for us to consume. So an auto attendant and all those sort of things. So we are quite happy to work within teams. Univerge Blue, incidentally, has always had 5.9 reliability. Up until about 2 or 3 months ago, Microsoft only had 3.9 reliability. So yet again, that's been a very good point for NEC. It was providing that reliability factor into a team's deployment. So just to summarize on that, you'll be using one platform, one application, which will be the Teams, and it'll be the Univerge Blue that will be just lying in the background, delivering the calls to the right people at the right time, at the right departments, whether that's through a DDI number, an auto attendant, and giving you the ability to have all access to those features, as I've already mentioned. Yeah, again, it's okay me talking about soft phones and mobile phones and Android and iOS. You know, some people just want a telephone, and you're very much able to consume Univerge Blue by just having a phone. Yet again, there are a choice of phones available, not only NEC phones, but we do Yealink as well as Polycom, or Poly as they are now known. They have various different features as regards to the look and the style. Some have more buttons than others. At the end of the day, the functionality is very much the same across the brand of handsets. I think it's fair to say that even though we are NEC, we have our own phones, Yealink are a very popular handset for any consumer. You can mix and match the handsets as well. For those people that are on the call that are from the IT side of the house, that may want to have a level of manageability. You may want to integrate into your CRM that's a little bit bespoke to your business. We have a whole host of APIs available and documentation. This is a free of charge service, and HBT and the team would look to work with you if you wanted to integrate into any sort of bespoke CRMs. As you can see there, we have the ability to out the box into Office 365, G Suite, Outlook, Slack, Zoho, etc., etc. That allows you to click and call, to click to chat, view the presence, visual meetings, all within the application. When I actually put an email together, I use Outlook 365, and even when I'm typing a colleague's email out, I'm actually seeing their presence right there and then. If I consider changing my mind from sending an email to a voice call, I can just click on within that profile within Outlook, and it will automatically contact that individual. Yet again, we can provide demonstrations on these applications on request. Now, times have changed significantly with cloud technology. It's made life easier for a lot of people, not only consuming it, but those people that want to manage it. So your IT managers within your business, or your third-party IT managers that you may employ to look after your infrastructure, are able to take control of your destiny, in effect, if you want them to. You may just want them to add maybe speed dial numbers or DDI directions, or pickup groups and hunt groups, all the sort of basic stuff. And you may just want to leave the experts at HBT to look after the rest. That's all doable. It's all granular nowadays, so we can provide you relevant access to what you want. As I say, you may not want to do it. You want to leave it to the experts. That's fine. If you want an element of control, that can be dealt with at the same time. So the control panel and the connectivity element. So as you see, it's consumed in a browser. It's very easy on the eye. And for those people that may be considering taking some management responsibility on the platform, You can see on the image on the right-hand side, things are actually laid out in the English language, not a technical language no more. So it makes it a lot easier for the company to take ownership of their platform. Moving forward, the whole cloud story, no matter if it's from NEC or one of our competitors, is only going to be as good as your existing infrastructure. So it's a prerequisite that NEC set out and HBT deploy, is that when they get a Univerge Blue opportunity, they will do a pre-deployment network testing. Okay, it's a piece of software that sits on your PC and it just monitors and pings our servers, our data centers in Bristol and London and across the rest of Europe, to make sure that your connectivity is consistent. Okay, by doing this work at the beginning, we can actually identify any problems beforehand and correct them. It will also give you the ability to be confident that the infrastructure that you've got in place, you're going to be able to have a good telephone conversation without it being quiet or being intermittent with people that are talking free flow, but you're only catching every other word because the network is not sustainable enough. So the VoIP Scout network testing, it doesn't matter who you're buying it from. I suggest you get this done, because when people say it's plug and play, how do they actually know what's going on their network? We say a minimum of 5 days, but if you know that on the second Thursday of every month you are uploading or downloading a load of information from the internet, then you want to conduct it at the most heaviest time to make sure that your infrastructure is in place and works. As a customer, you can see how good your infrastructure is after deployment by seeing the customer quality of service dashboard. Yet again, it summarizes it for you of how many good calls, how many average calls, or how many bad calls. And we can actually then, if it's a consistent problem as regards to bad calls, it gives us the ability to drill down and actually see where that problem exists. Now, you may think it be our telephone system that's at fault. However, in some cases, it could be the caller's quality of call that is creating the bad result. So rest assured, quality of service, whether it's pre-deployment or after, is extremely, extremely important to us. So just to summarize, Univerge Blue is a hosted solution, whether you just want a telephone, whether you want a piece of software on your Windows machine or your Mac, whether you want an application on your Android or your iOS device, it's all doable. I hope you found this information useful. I do encourage you to reach out to the team at HBT. We can provide demonstrations. We can come and visit and understand how your business is actually operating, and discuss all of the options. So on behalf of myself, thank you for your time, and now I'll hand over to Yasmin.
Thank you, Mark. That was very informative. We will send out a copy of the recording after this event. As Mark said, if you have any questions at all, please feel free to touch base with us. You can call us on 024 76 867 400. One of our account managers will also reach out to you and touch base with you over the coming week. Mark, I'll just have a look if we've had any questions come through. I think we've had a couple. The first one that we've got is, can we continue to use the same telephone number?
Absolutely. As I mentioned earlier, when we're talking about different license, I mentioned about 3,000 minutes and 5,000 minutes. Part of the service is that HBT will take a note of all your telephone numbers and will port them over to the platform. So we look after that for you from the offset. So yes, you can continue to use your existing telephone numbers. If you want more numbers, we can arrange that. If you want free phone numbers, we can arrange that. So yeah, we can take care of all that. Next question.
Okay, the next one we've got is, will my existing infrastructure be capable of running a Univerge Blue solution?
Right. Okay, yeah, absolutely. And I think in the last couple of slides there, when I spoke about the VoIP Scout, this is, I can't express how important this is, because, you know, if we are trying to deploy a voice solution onto an existing infrastructure and, you know, it's flaky or it's slow from time to time, you know, voice is time critical. So the infrastructure, it has to be, you know, of a certain state to make sure that you're providing a, you know, a good quality speech call. So, as I mentioned, the HBT engineering team will deploy a piece of software that will monitor and will produce a report 5-10 days after. They'll go through that and they'll be able to identify if there's any problems. And if there's no problems, we could say that we're very much good to go.
Okay, we've got another one here. I need a mobility solution within my business. However, I don't want to use an app as we don't have company smartphones. Do you have any other solution?
Yes, we're very fortunate at NEC, and yet again, this is testament to our pedigree in the marketplace. With the on-prem telephone systems, the ability to have digital extensions, IP extensions, analog extensions have been around for years, and so has what we call IP DECT. So having little access points located around an office and a building and deploying handsets to the individuals. That technology has been around for years. It's very, very rock solid, very reliable. It needs less infrastructure than using Wi-Fi technology, believe it or not. So yes, we have a mobility solution called IP DECT. It is from the on-prem platform, but because it's IP, we can attach it to a Univerge Blue solution, and yeah, customers consume as many handsets as they wish. No problem.
Okay, I've just got a couple more. Can I withhold my telephone number when I call certain contacts?
Yeah, this is a feature that is I use frequently actually. As I mentioned earlier, I use my client laptop and a little speaker and a microphone when I'm working from the home office. And within the settings there, I have an option of what call or what CLI, that's calling line identity, that I'm actually sending out to that caller. So I can, if I'm making a call on behalf of the admin team, I may want to present the admin telephone number. If I'm calling out on behalf of the sales team, I'll send the sales number. If I'm chasing age debt, I may not want to send a CLI number. I may want to withhold my telephone number and not give that person the option to avoid my call. So yes, you can, and you can fleet backwards and forwards.
Okay, last one. I like the idea of an app on my smartphone. However, I don't want to be contacted after hours or while on holiday.
Absolutely. Yeah, again, one of my favorites, and quite rightly so. Yes, within the application itself on your mobile phone, you have the ability to schedule when you're going to receive instant messages and telephone calls. So my schedule is very much, I don't receive instant messages and calls from 6 o'clock at night. If it's a member of staff, they would phone my mobile number. If it's of an urgent nature, of course. And it will turn itself back on at 6 o'clock, Monday to Friday. Saturday and Sunday, it's just dormant. So yeah, you can set schedules for it to come on and off as you please. So yeah, you can escape work if you really wanted to.
Which is really useful because we all need to do that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mark, for joining us today, and thank you everybody who joined the webinar. If you do have any questions at all, please do feel free to reach out to us, and we'll speak to you soon. Thank you.